Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a second adoption update. And then I'll also be talking about different types of adoption. So if you want to see that, then go ahead and keep watching. So for our update, we have completed our home study. So we are now just waiting for it to come in the mail to us. But we completed that and it all went well, and she sent us a draft to look over it, make sure all this names are spelled right and all the dates are correct. And so she did that. We read over it. There was just a couple names that were misspelled. And then after that, we sent it back to her and she completed it, and then it had to go to our agency to get notarized and then mailed to us. So we're still waiting for it to come in the mail. Another thing is that we finished our environmental checklist. So we checked everything off. All we had to get was a life-saving device for our pool, and then some kind of pole or a buoy, just in case, again, it's for the pool. So we got that, took a picture and sent it to our social worker, and then we checked off the checklist, sent that over to her, and that was it. So that's that. And then we have talked about it, and we've decided that we're going to go towards the foster adoption route. So there's 3 different types of adoption. There's domestic infant adoption, there is international adoption, and then there's foster adoption. So the domestic infant adoption is basically where you get your home study done, and then you usually you use an agency to search for birth mothers, and then a birth mother chooses you once they see your profile and all that. And it's like a little booklet or a book that you create, basically telling you about your family, about the life that your child will have, or that their child will have, and all that jazz. So a birth mother would choose an adoptive family, and then they either, depending on how far along she is in the pregnancy, they'll follow along with her during the pregnancy, and then when the child's born, 48 hours after the child's born, then the birth mother will sign over the parental rights, and then the adoptive parents get to take the child home. So that's domestic infant adoption. And then there's international adoption, which is basically adopting from outside of your home country. And that takes a lot more, there's a lot more steps to that. Not only do you have to do a home study, but you also have to have a dossier. And of course, you have to pay for, travel to that country. And it depending on what country you adopt from, there's either you have to go one time and then you can pick up the child, or you have to go and visit and then go back home and then go back to that child's country, and that's when the adoption takes place. So that really all depends on what country you adopt from. And then there is foster adoption, which is what we're going to go through. So foster adoption is adopting from the foster care system. So a lot of the children are still, the birth parents still have the parental rights. They haven't signed those over, or they haven't been revoked. So there may be times where you're, fostering a child, and then, if the parents do choose to keep the child and they do better, whatever the case is, sometimes it's abuse, sometimes it's, neglect. It just depends on what the reasoning for the Child Protective Agency took the child away from them. So if the parents clean up, quote unquote, then they could go back home to the birth parents, or sometimes there's grandparents or aunts and uncles that will adopt the child. And so obviously the system tries to keep the child with their family. But on special cases, there are children that either the parents sign over the rights, or they're not working towards bettering themselves, and so the state actually takes the rights away from them. And then there's no family that, either there's no family, no other family, or any grandparents or aunts and uncles, they don't want to adopt the child or can't adopt the child for whatever reason. So that is when the child is basically free for adoption. And they're basically custody of the states at that point. So then that's when the foster parents come into play and we can adopt the child. So we're not, you know, we most likely won't get an infant, but we hope to get a child at least younger than 4. So that's what we're hoping for, but we'll just see, you know, kind of what child God gives us, and, you know, whatever situation it is, we're just really excited that we can be that family to a child who doesn't have one. So that's that. It's going to be another pretty short video, but those are the 3 types of adoptions, and like I said, we are choosing the foster adoption route. And whenever we get more information and we choose what agency that we're going to go through, we will definitely keep you informed. So I hope you all like this video. If you like these adoption updates, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.